a keeper. No burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot pull with no zeros.
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down.
Feel like in the real life, dripping on the sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now.
Oh yeah.
Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now.
Oh yeah.
Shorty oughta been my, me, ooh, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You niggas, I'm left, yeah.
Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Up, downs, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life, dripping on the sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Houston Texans and the San Francisco 49ers. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Let's go!
They go with a fullback line. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offense. Line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go. What do you need?
And here's Marshall. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Armstead in there to get him. And that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. This is Marshall. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's got an open man, Clark. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6, and the Niners have taken the early lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is in this situation.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things in.
Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Screen play, McKinnon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he floated one out there incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and that'll make it third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 4 catches, 70 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes. Stretched. Dreamed. Going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch every one thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
On second down, here's Miller. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That escapes the sack. Being chased out left. And he he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on third down. They nearly got it. Probably should have gotten it, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And that pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him. But he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
He finds McKenna. Complete.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now back to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he slides to avoid the hit. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking for Clark. He's got him complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Now Marshall. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Pro Bowl. DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this 1st half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the 1st. Garoppolo again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he will have a touchdown. short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick six. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll look to throw here. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Well, that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. Steps away to his left. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Screen play, McKinnon. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Garoppolo now. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
All right, now, like it 56. Like it.
They're going to look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
And now another one thrown incomplete.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no. They went to him on first down, second down, third down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now this is fielded in the end zone. $34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll look to throw now on first down. Room to run past midfield. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field. Because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Demaryius Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
They'll look complete to his running back. Give him 5.
Offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game charts.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this said, And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense.
And the ball is knocked out. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Black 80!
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
To throw is Garoppolo. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and getting what he needed for a 1st down?
Well, that's the deal. On 3rd down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable 3rd down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And now here is another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. Have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Buying time to his left. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, It's a video game, man. Go ahead.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, 46 yards. And the Texans add on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Braxton Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. He shakes him off. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Miller. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Hey! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll drop to throw. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they helped.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game. But they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Andre Howe. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And the ball situated at the 9. Second and goal.
So let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They're going to look to throw. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
By 20.
One final try now for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.